Fiction opens doors, much like in our Peek Inside a Fairy Tale series, where readers get to actually step inside that classic story and become part of it with peek-through holes, gorgeous laser cutouts, and interactive flaps. And you know, Albert Einstein did once say that if you want your children to be intelligent, read them those fairy tales. And if you want them to be more intelligent, read them more fairy tales. Like our book of dual reader fairy tales, where every page consists of 2 levels of texts. Your new reader reads the top, and you read the bottom. Have an older, more confident reader? Try our illustrated fairy tales. It consists of 10 classic fairy tales, each one being about 30 to 40 pages, presented in this gorgeously illustrated format. Speaking of fairy tales, readers get to follow Nibbles, our very hungry little book monster, as he chews his way through some of those classic stories. And because Nibbles was so well loved as he wreaked havoc through some of those fairy tales, you can now find him munching his way through some dinosaur stories. Fiction also creates innovative thinkers. Like in Dragon Post, where little Alex writes letters to professionals to find out how to care for his dragon. And how fun that we get to open up those letters right along with him. And you have not put that innovative thinking to use until you have read I Say Ooh, You Say Ah. Through fun prompts and directions, it encourages your children to be active listeners and participants in the reading process. When you, as the reader, say, ooh, your listener has to say, ah. When they see the color red, they have to pat their head. Did you know that reading fiction also helps to encourage compassion? In our #1 seller, All Better, it's our job as the reader to help all of the hurt animals feel better. We find the correct color-coded reusable sticker Band-Aid, and we stick it on that animal's boo-boo to make him feel all better. In How to Brush Your Teeth with Snappy Croc, we learn how to care for a little crocodile by helping him learn to brush his teeth. While your child thinks that he or she is becoming the teacher of this life skill, it's actually the parents that are winning. While your child was teaching Snappy Croc, he or she is also brushing those teeth. Fiction is also really great at helping to grow your child's vocabulary. Like in our Muddle and Match series, where your reader can read the story as it's intended, or they can mix up the split pages to create their own silly characters and their own silly storylines. The word choice in Pandemonia, as we are trying so hard not to wake this sleeping panda, it's magnificent. When the snakes serenade as the peacocks parade, and the devils start gnashing their jaws, the koala whips up more palaver, and the penguins break into applause. In the Silver Serpent Cup, the town of Furryville is a very noisy place, as crowds of creatures are getting ready for a race. But what speaks even louder in this book is the fun terminology. Hurtling from the harbor and out across the bay, Stephanie Skedaddle goes swiftly on her way, whooshing through the water in her sleek and stylish boat. This seafaring sensation is the fastest thing afloat. Dogs, also available in Cats, is a phenomenal way to get your little one to talk to you and tell you how they're feeling. Dogs are everywhere. Look at all the dogs out there. And every dog on each page feels just a little bit different. Sad, scared, stubborn. But the best part is when your child gets to look in this mirror at the end and tell us which dog he or she is most like. Animally is one of our most well-loved stories, and it's all about the ways we love one another. I love you hugely, like a whale, but I also love you shyly, like a quail. And while fiction is really beneficial for all of those reasons I mentioned, let's be honest, it's also just fun. Like in our popular slot book, A Squirrel's Tale. We follow that dark line, which is really great for teaching children to read from left to right, as we move our squirrel from one page to the next. He's roaming through the woods as he asks all of the different animals if they found his nuts. Your readers will also keep those little hands moving and choose your own journey. The ship, the train, the car, and the biker are racing, and we pick the path that we want to follow with our finger. If your child loves music and instruments, look no further than Dan the Taxi Man. We follow Dan as he's picking up different musicians to take them to the show. And every time a new musician jumps in the taxi, a new sound is added. Here's Tyrone with his saxophone, squeeby-dee-dee, squeeby-dee-doo. And speaking of music and instruments, we can join all of these different animals as they're preparing for their big show in the noisy orchestra. Listen closely to the percussion. In Alfie and Bet's ABC book, our fun is had with three-dimensional pop-up letters. Alfie and Bet are on a quest to discover which letter in the alphabet is the best. With those three-dimensional pop-ups, a rhyming story featuring lots of things that begin with the letters at hand, and an alphabet line to work on ABCs, this book is loaded with things to talk about and explore as we solidify our alphabet knowledge. The Curious Case of the Missing Mammoth follows a little boy named Oscar and a big woolly mammoth named Timothy. They're on the hunt to find Timothy's little brother, Teddy, who's missing from the museum. As little Teddy leads them on a wild goose chase, he's bringing all of the different exhibits to life. And we get to learn about them, whether you are sniffing and stamping with our dirty dinosaur, gobbling and mooing with our mischievous animals in our Gobble Gobble Moo tractor book, or they're scooping and rumbling and turning and tumbling with our busy trucks on the go. Your readers are sure to grow their vocabularies, become innovative in their way of thinking, practice empathy and compassion, become more imaginative, and of course, have a really good time. Awaken their imaginations with books. Which one are you most excited to open up tonight?